In this video, I'm going to put three different controls on the J-frame. One of them is the slider, spinner, and the progress bar. So let us start. We will create a J-frame first. Okay, here we have our frame, and the controls, you can find them under the swing controls. The first one that we will use is the progress bar. Now the progress bar just shows you the progress. You have to handle the progress bar yourself. I mean, if you want to change the values or anything in progress bar, you have to do it yourself. It's not going to work automatically. So you need to have some code, something running behind, so that you can see the progress happening. So we'll just show you just one or two methods that you have to use to change the display of the progress bar. What I'm going to do here, I will just put two buttons here to increase and decrease the progress bar. Let's change the text for this one as something like less than and greater than signs. So when we click these two buttons, we should see the progress bar changing, and we go to the action performed event of the button. Now J progress bar 1 is the name of the control, then set value. Now here what we can do, we can have a global variable here, so that when we have different controls, they all can see this value. So here we are going to put PV plus plus, let's say, or this one is the minus minus. So let's run this. So now you can see that the progress bar is visible. Okay, there is a little difference here. Actually, it doesn't changes immediately. It goes one to the right, then to the left. Okay, we can make it, instead of PV minus minus, we can say minus minus PV. And this one also has plus plus PV. Let's check again. So this here you can write any logic to make this progress bar change. So this was the first control. Now let's put the second control. Let's pick the slider. Now the slider is that you can slide it yourself. You can click the mouse and drag it to the left or to the right. So now what I want to do here is to, when we drag this, okay, the event here is the state changed, and we are going to do the same thing here. So we will just pick this one, and let's say this one should just be the current PV value. So we say jslider dot get value. That's it. You can see it was in the middle, so the moment you try to drag it, it started from the middle. And the PV value is global, but we are not using that value in the get value. So what we can do here, we can just say, and we can change this one to okay, this should be PV, not V, right? Yeah. Okay, now we want the slider to also change when we increase or decrease the progress bar. Once again, we can say slider 1 dot set value, and we can put the PV there. And in both the buttons, in fact, we can put the same thing. We'll copy this and paste it into the other button. Let's run once again. Okay, now you can see all of them are working, right? Now we will put the last control, that is the spinner. So whatever value is displayed in the spinner should be the progress bar, and the slider should be set to that value. Or when we change the slider, the spinner value should also change. When we click the less than greater than buttons, again it should change the spinner value also, slider also, and the progress bar also. So all the three things should work. So we will add the in the button action perform, we can say jspinner dot set value, and PV, that is the global value that is running through the program. And also in the slider, so everywhere we have that value. Now let us see. This doesn't work, but this works perfectly because we have not set any event handler for the spinner, but all the other things are working fine. So now we will create one handler for the spinner also. And this is should be something like state changed or something like that. Let us see. Change state changed. Okay, now whenever we click the spinner up or down button, the value changes. So when that value changes, we want the slider and the progress bar both to show that value. So we will say slider 1 dot set value, now here we just need to change the value to the string value, in fact, because the number that we have in the spinner, it's a string. And here we can put the spinner 1 dot get value. Yeah. Okay, now you can see all the three things are working together, right? Yeah. So this is our slider, progress bar and the spinner.